Absolutely.
All right, so moving on to the next segment of the show, we want to introduce a good friend of ours. By the way, Duff was in studio yesterday, Dr. Nancy, and he remembers you.
Of course.
And said, oh my God, how'd you ever get her here? And I looked at him and says, how'd I get you here?
Dr. Nancy Powers is in the house.
How are you, Doc?
I am really delighted for the holiday season and beyond to help everyone feel better every day in every way so we can thrive in 25. So let's get to it.
And now, what did you bring to talk about today?
So today, with the holiday, you were all talking about ways of feeling better. And one of the ways that we are really learning about, which is so exciting, are the health benefits of the cannabis plant, especially the CBD aspect. That is a very important, new, exciting research and helping so many people feel better naturally.
And now, do you recommend people who, because I saw something that you posted with Alzheimer's. I saw something you posted with specifics.
Here's the thing. If anyone out there is taking cholesterol-lowering medication or knows somebody who is taking cholesterol-lowering medication, there's a couple really important things that you should know about. The first thing is, when you take cholesterol-lowering medication, your brain is made of cholesterol, okay? So this pharmaceutical medication to reduce cholesterol may, in fact, impact the brain because the brain is made of cholesterol. So what can you do to protect yourself? Since the advent of these cholesterol-lowering medications, Alzheimer's has skyrocketed. So if you or someone you know or love is dealing with Alzheimer's, I want to talk about something naturally that you may wish to investigate because science is investigating it and science is coming up with great responses to this. Here's the thing. The cannabis plant has a component called CBD, cannabidiol. And this is shown to have 4 major health benefits. The first being inflammation. Okay? Now, inflammation causes irritation to all the cells, and then the cells go a little crazy. So the CBD helps reduce inflammation. The inflammatory process of the brain can lead to cognitive decline, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and a lot of other neurological issues, which science is really studying now. This is why this is so exciting. So the other thing that CBD helps with is inflammation, anxiety. So if you're feeling anxious during the holiday or beyond, you may want to study natural alternatives and learn about CBD. The third thing is sleep. It helps with insomnia. Now the thing about insomnia, and if you're not sleeping, you're not healing. So if you're not healing, then you're not getting better. So if you want to make a change to make the difference, you really start practicing better sleep hygiene. And that has to do with taking care of your bedroom, taking care of yourself, and CBD really helps with that. And the other thing is pain. Topical CBD lotions, creams have been shown very beneficial for pain. But it all comes down to inflammation because when the cells are irritated, when the nerve cells are irritated, it causes inflammation. And then the body has to react and try to heal itself. That's what happens in the brain.
Let me ask you a question. I want to back up to the CBD.
Sure.
Cannabis versus hemp plant.
Okay.
2 separate plants or the same
plant?
No,
it's the same plant, but the way that it's grown is different. They are able to cultivate it with different levels of THC and CBD. You know, the science of cultivating cannabis is really, really amazing. So the growers are able to differentiate between the amount of the THC, which is the psychoactive component of it. Okay, so that creates more of a euphoric feeling, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about the CBD, which is legal. Okay, the 2018, they legalized hemp, which legalized CBD, which has really been amazing because now we can study it. And then people are able to have natural alternatives.
So the CBD, it comes from the same plant.
Yes.
Then they harvest the CBD, they do not harvest the THC.
Well, it's
the
CBD
non-psychoactive, right? So that's for the cannabinoids.
Correct.
That's for your endocannabinoid system, all of that for inflammation, brain health, sleep, insomnia,
yes,
anti-inflammatory, mood regulation.
Thanks for bringing that up. Our bodies have an endocannabinoid system, which is part of the neurological network, which is why the cannabis, the CBD, cannabidiol, reacts to the endocannabinoid system and calms it down. What it does is the fat goes into the fat. Nerves are made of fat, cholesterol. Different, okay? So that's why it's so soothing, and it basically creates like a healing effect. It's a lock and key system that allows those nerves to heal, because otherwise they're not going to heal. They're just going to deteriorate, and then you create and have to deal with health issues.
Now, I want to clear it up. So you got CBD, and the other one is?
THC.
THC. We're not talking about THC, which gets you high.
Yes.
So people think that because you take CBD, it's the same thing. It's not.
CBD is not psychoactive.
It
doesn't get you high. As a matter of fact, I like to talk about fruit, okay? There's terpenes, which is the fragrance component and also healing components of plants, because plants are, when you break them down, there's all different botanical benefits to them. So limonene is a terpene, which is integrated into certain kinds of the cannabis plant. There's also mangoes, which is myrcene, and lavender. Now, lavender is shown to help people feel calmer.
That's in the plant?
Well, there's different components of it. It's like got the genetics, if they break down the genetics, it's a component of it, which is really exciting. So CBD is so beneficial for people. But the thing is, we need to study more. Okay, we are replacing cannabis stigma with cannabis science. And this is why knowledge is power.
So here's my next question.
Yeah.
You and I have been fortunate enough to be worked with a lot of CBD companies over the years. Before, it was even a medical marijuana thing in Florida, where CBD was still like on the outskirts.
Right.
There's the CBD, which is great, but there's different ways to ingest it.
Yes.
And that doesn't change the complexities of the CBD, but it might change how your body absorbs it.
Absolutely. I want to show you. So this is a tincture, okay? This is the oil that they break down. Now, the tincture you can put in your mouth, under your tongue. If you're having any kind of issues with your teeth or gums, it's good on your gums. Now, you need to try it, okay? But this is not psychoactive. It's like if I said, here, squeeze a lemon, smell a lemon, okay? Because it's not psychoactive. The CBD doesn't get you high, and it just gets you healed up inside, which is really important.
But it's important also, if you have bacteria in your mouth, it goes to your heart.
That's a very important thing. Now, the mouth is related to the heart. That's why proper hygiene of your mouth is imperative, especially as you age. People who get gum infections or have problems with their teeth very often have problems with their heart. So everybody listening right now, if you do at least one thing besides learn about CBD, which will help you so much, take better care of your mouth.
So every time I take my dental floss out now, I think of you.
Take your dental floss.
Oh, hey, there's Dr. Nancy in my head again.
Absolutely. Rinse your mouth out with salt water, with hydrogen peroxide, with Listerine. But don't just do it once in a while. Make it part of your hygiene, because your mouth is related to your heart and your eyes are related to your liver. That's why people who get jaundice get yellow eyes.
Yes. The other thing is, not all CBD is the same. There are plants that give off, there are companies that do better CBD extraction than other companies.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, not every human being absorbs CBD the same way. So you have to find the formula, right? It doesn't happen automatically.
Absolutely. We're all very bio-individual, and the term that CBD has is called a neuroprotectant. Okay, when your nerves are inflamed, it's called neuroinflammatory. So the neuroprotectant helps calm down the nerve cells, and it does it by wrapping, it acts as an emollient. The fat from the CBD helps coat the nerve cells. It's kind of like if a person has a run in their pantyhose, and their pantyhose it separates, this calms it down and sort of heals it back up together. It's really important because people who deal with Alzheimer's their brains basically turn to silly putty. You get something called amyloid plaques, which is where the brain cells stick together because of inflammation, which is irritated by stress. When you get stress, it shoots up to your brain, and the cortisol turns your brain into an inflammatory situation. And what do you do to calm down? I mean, it's very, very important. So that's why CBD is something that you can try. You can try it in a gummy form. in a candy form. You can put it under your tongue like I showed in the tincture. You can also put it on your skin. But when it's on your skin, that's for things like, I personally benefited because I had significant skin cancer, and CBD, it cured me. So I'm really excited to share this information. And now, with all the legislation moving in the direction we can have more science. And also, CBD is really important for dealing with the opioid epidemic. The different states that have legalized medical marijuana and have a lot of information about CBD have seen a dramatic decrease in opioid deaths. So there's so many benefits to this, and that's why the science is evolving, and knowledge is power.
What I find so interesting is we've tried a lot of different companies.
Some good, not some
Absolutely.
bad.
We've
like
tried the
everything
tinctures,
else.
we've tried their hard
Everything.
candles, the gummies. There's so many different things. And for me, so many of the carrier oils, is what I've been told, upsets my stomach. So I can't get past that sick feeling in my stomach to even get to the benefits of the CBD.
Okay.
So is there, I guess, a cleaner, more direct absorption way versus mixing it with something for me? Or
Well,
other people that might have the same concern?
Or do you have to just ingest it or take it another way if you can't
Well, you
eat
want
it?
a very high grade product. You want to do your research
So how
on
do
the
you know?
product.
What do you look for?
I would look for reputable, if there's reviews, of reputable reviews. Different states that have licensed medical marijuana programs have done a significant amount of scientific research. So if you have a card or live in a state where you have access to this, you can find out there, because they search for very high quality products.
Also, you want to do your homework. Don't go and buy.
Don't get it at the street corner.
Don't go to Wawa Pump 6 and buy your CBD.
Sure.
Find a
No.
reputable company, do some homework on it. But I think that the important thing we're talking about today is that the science is getting better. Educate yourself. It's not going to get you high. I don't care how much CBD you take. There was a time they gave me like the gummies. I ate them like candy.
Well, yeah, and it reduces inflammation.
That was the other thing, yes.
Post-surgical, people who have surgery and want to heal from the post-surgical inflammation are really benefited by CBD. And also, it's really good for your brain. Now, that's something that we all need to think about and take care of, because you have one brain and you want to take care of it very well for a very long time. And with all the science coming out, you can learn what to do to feel better longer.
I'm so glad you brought up the fact about the cholesterol-lowering meds, because I was reading a study about it, but yet everyone seems to, even the cardiologists, push it under the rug, because cholesterol, your LDL, they want it at a certain point more than the HDL, and then they're quick to prescribe these statins, and I get it, right? Because if you have high cholesterol and heaven forbid something happens, now we live in such a litigious society that someone could come after the doctor.
Right.
But on the side note, if it's taking out the plaque and the cholesterol from all your arteries, you got to figure, it's affecting the brain. So are we trading
That's right.
something beneficial or not?
That's a very valid point. Now, the other day I was talking about natural alternatives to improve your arterial health, and I spoke about watermelon, and I spoke about celery. So you want to have a very healthy diet, so maybe you don't need so much of these cholesterol-lowering medications, because they do have side effects, and yes, they are very often, shoveled under the rug. But one thing is for sure, with today's ability to have your ability to study and learn how to protect yourself, your power for your health has never been more potent.
And that's the object of the game here. But you want to educate yourself when you make the right move. You don't want to, somebody could tell you the wrong information. If they tell you the wrong information, do the research.
Well, do your research. And the other thing, when you see cannabis, okay, understand that this is a plant. This is a healing plant for thousands of years, okay? Queen Victoria used to use cannabis oil because she had very severe monthly menstrual cramps. It's been used for thousands of years. There's a lot of studies for topical burns. Okay, I'm involved in a study out of California where, with the Army, that they're using topical cannabis, topical cannabinoid CBD dominant to help heal burns, because the free radicals, all those cells that are damaged, what CBD does, it creates something called autophagy, where it chews up the bad cells and leaves the good cells. So you're stronger, longer, and healthier. It's really amazing. And I'm so excited to see what the future holds, because we are just getting started, and we want everybody to feel better. And that's why we do what we do.
For education?
Yes.
Because if you're going into a store, at least in Florida, I don't know what it's like anywhere else, you walk in, it's and you have your medical marijuana card, right? It's like a candy store.
Absolutely.
And you can buy anything or everything.
That's right.
And the people that are working in there, some of them have a higher tolerance because they've been on product for so many years. What may work for them might not work for somebody who's new or someone who's elderly, who's on different other medications. You want to make sure they don't have a bad contraindication.
That's right.
Can we call you?
Absolutely. My phone number should be listed here. But
The
the other
561
thing
number?
is, my phone number is 561-631-6344. I'll say it again, 561-631-6344, and I will guide you. Now, you bring up a very salient point. Everything is about education, and education leads to legislation. But CBD is already legal. Okay, CBD is already legal, it's available. So next time somebody talks to you about it, have an open mind. Start studying it before you make a decision. Because once you do study it, you'll see there is no prescription medication which has been shown to cure Alzheimer's. There's no answer for Alzheimer's. But what we can do is calm down the inflammation and start getting the cognition back and start feeling our brains working better. And all that neuroprotective benefits are really, really important. And it really doesn't take a long time for it to work. They say when you start taking CBD, you should do it every day for a month. But I personally, in my practice, I see results in a couple days, especially with the skin healing, the topical skin healing and the burns. It's amazing.
Are there contraindications to blood thinners, cholesterol meds, thyroid medications, things that there's normally timing issues on what you're going to take it?
Well, I would say speak to your doctor, and if your doctor doesn't know about it, find another doctor who does, like me. And the thing is, everyone is so individual, and it also depends on your weight. It depends on your medical history. So you want to start small, and you want to be very, very in a safe environment. But like I said, the CBD has no psychoactive effects whatsoever. I mean, that's proven. So it will just start healing up your cells, and then you may not need as much of the medication. That's another thing that shows up. Once you're better, do you still need all of that medication?
Well, you also want to find out a reputable company sells good CBD. Every person is different. That's why you're sensitive to everything. Everything. There's even water that you're sensitive to, that you try that. So you sort of have to know your body.
Absolutely.
You got to do a little bit of research, get the information out there, and then make a smart decision. Now, if you think it's going to help you lose weight, it's not going to. If you don't think that anything you take is going to work overnight, it's not going to. But it will work if you stick with it.
Right.
There are certain people, if you look at certain commercials that they put on television, it has all these warnings.
Oh, absolutely.
All of this isn't, but they're still selling it, right?
Well, absolutely, like the cholesterol-lowering medication. They're not talking about the correlation between cognitive decline. I have a website you can go to, which is called 420 Health News, and I have a lot of information on that. So you can do research and you can sign up for newsletters and get more information. Because all of this is about you learning what you need to do to protect yourself and your family. Because I don't care how nice you are, and you go to your doctor, they have thousands of charts, and you have one body and one brain, and you have to take care of yourself and your family, your loved ones.
All right, so contact Dr. Nancy at 561-631-6344. Dr. Nancy Talks Health at gmail.com. Or 420
Health News.
420healthnews.com. More to come.
Thank you for making the world a healthier place. We're all about it. It's the Thrive in 25.
Thank you. Let's take a commercial break. More to come on the other side of the break. And we'll be right back.